Okay guys, today I learned something important about protocol-oriented programming, and this protocol-oriented programming can save this POP protocol-oriented programming can save a lot of codes. In what way? The first thing that we used to do earlier in our projects, like we create a base class XYZ, okay, and you say that we are going to inherit for all this next let's say any class that we make. Probably I'm talking about those view controllers, so which is inheriting from the base class, let's say XYZ, which is my base class, and a lot of classes, not just ABC, let's say DEF, so many classes which is inheriting from this base class, and we have to override the methods in their respective classes. So when I used to learn about protocol oriented programming, I got to understand this very important aspect of it, that is the extension. This is the most important thing. If I were to learn this, and if I would have known this, the power of this one, I would have definitely supported protocol oriented programming in my project. I'm going to show you my project, in which ongoing project in which I worked, and what I mean what code smell I created, and from there I will be able to figure you out. Let's say we went into the DPA Ukraine workspace. So I had this project for my company, and I got to tell you that I have got a base class in this one, a base class, okay, yeah, the base view controller. So all my methods are inheriting from this one, from base view controller. So instead of creating inheritance, okay, all from the base view controller, okay, all this, every class is inheriting from base view controller. So what exactly base view controller did? So there were three buttons like sorting, notification, and back buttons, usually in the navigation. So all these functionalities were written in this one, in the base view controllers. Now if I would have gone through protocol ways, it would have been far more beautiful. So let's say we have a base view controller, so all my classes were inheriting from this one, and we're having this functionality. So you see over here, all the time I was, adding this functionality. Same, in the base view controllers, we were adding this functionality. So the idea is how to make a very beautiful code such that we don't have a repetitive set of codes all the time. And how can we achieve this? So the Apple introduced protocol-oriented programming, and this is what I'm going to change in my programming methodology. So what to do in that cases where we have all the view controllers inheriting from a common base view controllers, we create a protocol out of it. So what Apple says, instead of thinking of inheritance, think of protocol, and instead of thinking of class, think of struct wherever possible. Now view controller, you cannot think of it as a struct, it has to be taken as a class. And instead of inheritance, think about the protocols. So that is exactly what we are doing. So we have created a protocol, and mutating is for any of the IVAs that you are going to mutate. So once you have created a protocol, the same way where we have created a base view controller, we have created this one. And if this thing you are missing in protocol, this is I can't tell you enough. It is something like 10 out of 10. If you have missed this, you have missed something 10 out of 10 valuable thing in protocol oriented programming language in Swift. So it is the knowledge of this thing that you have to know. Now suppose you wanted to add a functionality, let's say hit taken, in all of the classes. Let's say we have this another class that we have created, and since we have it's a protocol, we have to implement this. I would implement this one, okay. Similarly, I have created another class which is inheriting from same. I would create in this. The question is, don't you think that there will be a base class better than this, suitable for this? So this is what I was missing all the time, my friends. And the moment I knew that there is an extension for a protocol, where I can give this functionality, and so long you don't have a functionality to override this one, it will always write this functionality. So let me run for it for you. I'm going to create a class where peasant class, okay, let's say peasant. So now you give the name, okay, name, let's say I give my name, so now what is going to happen? We have piece dot health level. Tell me the health level. It starts with 2, okay. Let me mark down this too. Okay, now if I say keys dot hit taken, which is a method written on it, it gives me 1, and if I do it again, hit taken, so it says that I'm dead. So it is implementing a functionality. What functionality it is implementing? It is implementing a functionality which is over here, that is extended by my game unit. Okay, it is implementing this functionality instead of this. Now, if I want to do the same thing for the soldier, it is just like that. It's implementing the same functionality. But I don't want the same functionality in the knight. So how are we going to change it? We are going to create a custom one. That's the extension of game unit where self is knight. Okay, and I'm going to write just how it's going to happen onto this one. So guys, if I have this one, okay, if I have custom method for a separate base class, I would have used this part of this, like extension based view controller where self, and I would have given the name of the view controller. So let me run this for knight and see how it is different. Where piece, not piece, that knight n equals to, okay, knight we have, give the name. Let's say this time I am making a killer Sudoku. This is a knife. K and dot. Now what you can do? The health level we can check if it is 10, fine. And if we give the hit taken, so what it does, it gives me 10. It gives me 9 actually over here. And now if I check the health value, it will be reduced by 1. Let's say health level. So it will be reduced by 1. And suppose let's say suppose if you don't want to give this extension, okay, let's suppose we don't want to give this extension, then how it would have worked? Then you would have taken this, okay, let me narrow it down. Let me check it out. One interesting thing, if I do this, okay, now what happens? And instead of this, let's give something else, something this, okay, let me do this now. Check it out, what happens. We have a knight and all those things. Let's check it out, what happens. Okay, so there's one interesting thing, guys. So if you are overriding it in your own class, okay, like this, then this will be executed. And if you don't give this one, okay, and if you don't give this one, then what you have written in default over here, that will be taken. Just check it out. Okay, got it. So this was a short introductions how protocol-oriented programming can be valuable to you. So guys, wherever you have used inheritance, remember that protocol-oriented programming has got one important aspect, that is an extension of a protocol where you can define the methods and you can make it custom just like you have done it over here. That's it, guys. I'm in the process of refactoring my own code. Let's see what amazing things you did it with yourself. Thanks, bye.